Let's talk about friendship. Connection, empathy. But here's the twist. We're not talking about other people. Nope. We're talking about AI companions. And this isn't some tiny nerdy corner of the tech world. It's a global phenomenon. And that brings us to the real question. As we start building these perfect digital friends, what exactly are we doing to ourselves? So, just how big is this? Well, get this. By 2032, the market for these AI companion apps is projected to hit over $31 billion. That is a massive number. This isn't just a fad. It's a huge economic and cultural wave that is literally reshaping our idea of what a relationship can even be.
So, what does a $31 billion friendship actually feel like? For this user, it's all about that promise of constant, unconditional availability. I mean, think about it, 24/7. This one simple quote really gets to the heart of the appeal, and it explains why so many people are diving into this.
Okay, so how in the world do we get here? How did digital friendship get a $31 billion price tag? Well, this boom didn't happen by accident. It's a worldwide thing with some really clear patterns pushing its crazy growth.
Right now, North America is the biggest market. Makes sense, with all the smartphones and a huge tech scene. But watch out, because the Asia-Pacific region is catching up, and it's catching up fast. And the secret sauce for developers? It's all about getting you to check in every single day. They use real-time chats and game-like features to weave these AI pals right into the fabric of your life. But that begs the real question, doesn't it? Why is it so compelling?
So what's really going on here? What is the deep human need that this technology is tapping into? Well, it all boils down to one simple, incredibly powerful promise. The promise of perfect, uncomplicated empathy. Listen to what this user says. It just hits the nail on the head. The AI responds instantly, it never judges, it's always there. Let's be real, human relationships can be messy and complicated. So these platforms, they offer a kind of psychological safe harbor, a space where you can be totally vulnerable without any fear of what might happen.
And here's where it gets really wild. In one study, they had people unknowingly chat with both humans and AI. And guess what? The participants actually rated the AI's responses as more compassionate and empathetic than the ones from trained human crisis responders. It seems like machines are getting unbelievably good at performing empathy. But that word right there, performing, is absolutely crucial. And it leads us to this fundamental glitch in the code, a huge question about the very nature of this AI empathy that seems so perfect on the outside. Which, of course, forces us to ask the big one. Can an AI that has never felt joy or sadness or loss, can it be capable of real empathy? Or is it all just an incredibly sophisticated simulation?
Let's just break it down. On one side, you've got human empathy. It's costly. It takes our time, our energy, our focus, all things we don't have enough of. But that cost, that's what makes it mean something. It signals genuine care. It's built on real shared experiences. Now, on the other side, AI empathy. It's unlimited. It's totally cost-free. It's a simulation of care from something with zero lived experience. It would give you the exact same perfect response it gives to millions of other people.
Researchers from the NIH put it perfectly. Because an AI's empathetic response costs it nothing, it just can't signal authentic care. It doesn't mean that you are uniquely important to it. The value, it turns out, is in the cost.
Okay, so if AI empathy is cost-free, what's the catch? This brings us to the hidden costs. When we start outsourcing these fundamental human interactions to machines, what happens to our own skills? What do we risk losing?
And look, this isn't just some abstract philosophical debate. Experts are already sounding the alarm. Take a look at this forecast for the year 2035. A full 50% of experts they surveyed predict that AI will do more harm than good to our deep thinking skills and our social and emotional intelligence. That is a coin flip chance that this tech could be making us less human.
And it's not just future predictions. The data is already starting to roll in, and, well, it's a little worrying. This study found a really significant and kind of troubling connection. As you can see on the chart, there's a direct link. The more often someone uses a personal AI chatbot, the higher their symptoms of generalized anxiety. It's a pretty stark finding that the very tool people are turning to for comfort might actually be making their distress worse.
There's actually a name for this whole phenomenon. It's called de-skilling. And the best way to think about it is like this. Using an AI for an emotional task is kind of like using a calculator for simple math.
Yeah, you get the answer faster, but you risk forgetting how to actually do the math yourself. We're offloading these core human skills like critical thinking, self-reflection, and even our own ability to feel empathy for others.
To get this next idea, just think about something we all know, Spotify Wrapped, right? At the end of the year, it packages up all your listening data and tells you a story about you. It's a fun little example of a much, much deeper process that's going on. And that fun little example points to something much bigger and honestly, a little unsettling. It's a concept called the algorithmic self. This is the idea that our sense of who we are isn't just coming from inside us anymore. It's being assembled and shaped by the digital platforms we use every day. The algorithm doesn't just reflect you, it starts to construct you.
So what does this all mean? Where are we headed? It really feels like we're standing at a crossroads. By bringing these incredibly powerful tools into the most private parts of our lives, we are fundamentally changing what it means to be human. I love how researcher Eveline Tauchnitz puts it. She says that the messiness of being human, the vulnerability, the mistakes, the unpredictable thoughts, that is the whole point. By trying to optimize our relationships for perfect comfort with AI, we risk filtering out the very thing that makes human connection so special.
And this is where things get really paradoxical. When you look at the research, on one hand, studies show that talking to an AI companion can have positive effects, like helping people open up and express their emotions. But then, on the other hand, different studies link the exact same behavior to really negative outcomes, like feeling even more lonely. The tool designed for connection might also be making us feel more isolated.
The long-term risk? Well, one expert described it in a way that's honestly pretty chilling. They call it a potential future of AI dementia, a state where we've offloaded so much of what makes us human, our memory, our reasoning, our empathy, that we cross a line, a tipping point where we can't ever get it back.
And that leaves us with one last, really crucial thought. We spend so much time worrying about what AI is becoming. Is it smarter? Is it more human-like? But as we get used to these perfect, frictionless companions, machines that listen forever and never complain, maybe the real question we need to be asking is, what are we becoming?